Hi everybody, this is just some guy. Hey, remember in 2017 how Marvel did that Ron Jeremy hard push into SJW politics and they couldn't sell any of those books? Remember how Marvel decided to focus on the characters behind the mask instead of what they do in the mask and none of those books sold either? Remember how every book with a progressive ideologue on it bombed so hard that some of them got cancelled before they came out? Well, DC doesn't remember. They got a new miniseries coming out written by the screenwriter for 12 Years a Slave that will, quote, recontextualize key moments from the history of the DC universe through the eyes of its marginalized heroes. This shit's gonna bomb. So I spotted this on Twitter, and I just had to do a video because this is so stupid. Here's the idea, and I'm just gonna read it from the article. DC Comics announced that Oscar-winning screenwriter John Ridley of 12 Years a Slave fame will write the other history of the DC universe. The prestige miniseries, branded in the press as literary, aims to recontextualize key moments from the history of the DC universe through the eyes of its marginalized heroes. Well, that sounds interesting. Tell a story from the D-lister's perspective. Oh, but that's a good idea. And they're not gonna do that. No, it's dumber than that. From the article again. According to the announcement, the other history of the DC universe will feature heroes including Green Lantern John Stewart, Extraño, I don't know who that is, Vixen, Supergirl, Katana, and Renee Montoya, among others. Except for Extraño, none of these characters are marginalized. Hell, half of them have been on the Justice League. John Stewart is the Green Lantern for an entire generation of people who grew up watching the Justice League cartoon. Even casual comic book fans know who all these characters are, and most of them have had their own ongoing series. So how are they marginalized? I mean, let's take Supergirl. She's got a TV show. She's 3 seasons into a TV show. How is she marginalized? Is it like with Oprah? Like, I'm a marginalized black female billionaire who goes by my first name and can make or break a business, an author or a phony doctor by going, it's fabulous. She's not fucking marginalized. Let's go on. From the article again. The press release takes pains to emphasize that the series will focus on the lives of those behind the costumes, hinting at a more grounded look at the fantastic universe the publisher traditionally presents. You know what I'd like to see? What John Stewart does when he's not fighting aliens or traveling the stars or boning bitches with wings. That sounds so fucking interesting. I do wonder though if hooking up with Shayera fucked up his chicken consumption. He's over there smacking on Popeyes and Shayera's like, really? But seriously, I don't want to read about what these people do when they're not in costume. No one does. You know how I know? Because DC's not publishing those fucking comics. If anyone wanted to see that shit, they'd have it. It'd be the book that got published. Pick any character, and I don't care how interesting they are, no one wants to read about their mundane lives. If we wanted to do that, we'd just look at our Facebook feed. Jesus, there's a reason we're picking up these crazy sci-fi fantasy stories, and it's not to find out how boring these people are. So Ridley had a little explanation for his idea. He says, I cannot be more excited by the opportunity to excavate the canon of the DC universe through a vast array of characters who earned their seat at the table. You said that they were marginalized, but now they've earned their seat at the table. You can't have it both ways, Ridley. They're either the coons at the back of the bus or they're the niggas in front. You cannot have it both ways. And if you think this is going to be anything other than progressive bullshit, think again. The article says that the miniseries will be like Ridley's very political comic, The American Way. That comic focuses on race issues from a black hero's perspective that's set in the 1970s. So Ridley's basically going to take those themes and use them on well-known DC characters he considers marginalized. Why? There's no reason to do this. You're already writing the book with your own characters. Finish that. Why fuck with established characters to tell this lame, rehashed story? You're like the 8th motherfucker to do this in the last 2 months. It's not original. It's not clever. Everything you're gonna do has already been done. At least it's a miniseries. At least DC had the sense to keep this away from the real universe and let it be a side story. But honestly, y'all need to get away from this. This is not selling books. 2017 is proof of that. Ask Marvel. Ask IDW. Both these companies took huge hits because of pushing politics. Your audience wants to be entertained. If they want to be preached at, they can go to church or what now passes as higher education. They don't want it in their entertainment. Why can't you understand this? How many red numbers do you need to see before it sinks in? It's just... I'm still tickled about the Supergirl thing. She has a fucking TV show. I see this bitch every day on billboards. She's marginalized? How? There are more ads for her than the Justice League movie. Like nobody's ever heard of her. She's got a comic book, a show. She does crossover. She's in games. She was a prominent character in Injustice 2. Nobody's heard of this bitch. She's marginalized. She's in the corner. Yeah, that big corner on the major thoroughfare 100 feet tall. She's so fucking big you can fall into one of her pores. Marginalized. Get the fuck out of here. Whatever, I'm done.